It's a routine flight, the kind millions of us take every day. But just 72 hours ago, an Azerbaijan Airlines Embraer 190 vanished from the sky under circumstances that are as mysterious as they are tragic. At first glance, it seemed like another unfortunate accident, perhaps a bird strike, maybe a technical fault. But as investigators dig deeper, evidence is emerging that hints at something far more sinister. What really brought this plane down? Was it a mechanical failure, a tragic mistake, or could this be the unintended consequence of geopolitics playing out in the skies? So stay with me because today we are uncovering the truth behind a crash that has shaken the aviation world to its core. This isn't just a story about a plane, it's about the lives lost, the unanswered questions, and the ripples spreading across nations. So stick with me, don't go anywhere. Thank you. It was quite an evening in Azerbaijan, December 25th, 2024, when Flight J2-8243 lifted off from Heydar Aliyev International Airport in Baku. On board were 67 souls, pilots, crew, families heading home, and travelers embarking on what they assumed would be a regular flight to Grozny, Russia. But only moments after takeoff, reports of turbulence and bad weather forced the crew to change their course. The plan was to divert to Aktau, Kazakhstan, a routine decision made by experienced pilot, of course. But what followed was far from routine. So at 11:37 p.m., just miles away from their diversion airport, the Embraer 190 came crashing down. Witnesses described a fireball lighting up the night sky, followed by the sound of explosions. So 38 lives were lost in an instant and 29 passengers survived, many with life-threatening injuries. But the survivors recount moments of chaos, the plane breaking apart, and the smell of smoke and the desperate scramble to escape the wreckage. So as we speak, families are mourning their loved ones. Vigils are being held and flags are flying at half-mast in Azerbaijan. But amidst the grief, pressing questions remain. Because the more we learn about this crash, the less it seems like an ordinary accident. So, when the news first broke, investigators pointed to a bird strike. Damage to the engine seemed consistent with this theory. A bird entering the turbine could have caused the catastrophic failure that brought the plane down. But this explanation didn't sit well with aviation experts. Soon, another possibility emerged. Reports began to surface of bullets like marks on the fuselage, shrapnel, damage that didn't fit the narrative of a bird strike. So what's more, passengers reported hearing what sounded like explosions before the plane hit the ground. And here's where things get even more concerning. The flight path showed signs of erratic behavior. Multiple failed landing attempts in Grozny suggested GPS jamming or interference, something that in this part of the world has a very specific implication. So could this plane have been shot down? Evidence of heightened military activity in the region raises the terrifying possibility that Flight J2-8243 may have been caught in the crossfire of a geopolitical struggle. So with tensions running high between neighboring countries, was this aircraft mistaken for a threat? And if so, who is responsible? So at this point, the black box becomes critical. recovered from the wreckage is being analyzed by a team of investigators from Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, and Embraer. Early leaks from the recordings suggest a series of escalating warnings in the cockpits, warnings that the pilots were battling forces outside their control. So let's take a moment to step back from the technicalities and consider the human side of this tragedy. 38 lives lost, mothers, fathers, children, and friends. So for the survivors, the nightmare didn't end when the plane hit the ground. Burn, injuries, broken bones, and psychological trauma are just the beginning of their journey. So take the story of Nolan, a father of three who was traveling home for the holidays. He survived, but his wife and youngest child did not. Tragically, Nolan now faces an unimaginable future, one where his holiday memories are forever tied to loss. As aviation enthusiasts and global citizens, it's easy to get caught up in the mechanics and theories. But let's not forget, these are real people, and their stories deserve to be at the heart of this discussion. So if you've made this far, thank you for listening. It's critical that we give voice to the victims of this tragedy, and by staying informed, we can help ensure that their stories are not forgotten. And if this resonates with you, consider sharing this video. It's a small way to honor the lives lost and support the investigation. This crash isn't just an isolated incident. It's part of a broader conversation about aviation safety, military protocols, and the fragility of life in contested airspace. If it's proven that Flight J2-8243 was shut down, it will represent a catastrophic failure of communication, a failure that puts every traveler at risk. What's more, this incident comes at a time when tensions between nations are at an all-time high. Airspace that should be safe for civilian flight is becoming a chessboard for military operations. So the question we need to ask is, how do we prevent this from happening again? For Azerbaijan Airlines, this is a defining moment. Their response will determine public trust in the carrier, and their cooperation with investigators will shape the outcome of this case. But the responsibility doesn't lie with the airline alone. Governments, air traffic controllers, and military leaders must work together to ensure that no plane becomes collateral damage in a political conflict. This story is still unfolding. As new details emerge, it's up to us to keep asking questions, to demand accountability, and to honor the lives lost by learning from this tragedy. If you found this video insightful, let's keep the conversation going. Drop your thoughts in the comments. And do you believe this was an accident, or is there more to the story? And if you haven't already, considered subscribing to Flight Realities for in-depth coverage of aviation news and stories that matter. Together, we can ensure that the skies remain a place of connection, not conflicts. So before we wrap up, I want to take a moment to express my deepest gratitude to each and every one of you. This has been an incredible year for Flight Realities, and it's all thanks to your unwavering support. So whether you've been with us since the beginning or you just discovered this channel, your views, likes, comments, and shares have been the fuel that keeps this journey alive. 2024 was a year of growth and learning for this channel. We covered critical topics, uncovered truths, and connected with aviation enthusiasts around the world. But we are not done yet. As we look ahead to 2025, there's so much more to come. Bigger stories, deeper investigations, and a renewed focus on the passion that drives this channel. That said, we still have challenges to overcome. As we continue to struggle with watch hours, your engagement is more important than ever. So every like, every comment, and every minute you spend watching makes a world of difference. So let's make 2025 the year that flight realities truly takes off. Thank you for being part of this journey. Your support means more than words can express. And I can't wait to see what we'll achieve together in the year ahead. So stay safe, stay curious, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Thank you, and here's to soaring even higher in 2025. I am Joseph Kabulu. Until next time, it's goodbye.